My name is Oksana Kolesnikova. Hello, everyone. I'm here speaking on everything has to do with my, knowledge about that I acquired being a musician, artist, and businesswoman.
Stay tuned for today's episode of Breaking the Biz, an informative podcast where we dive into the world of entertainment by interviewing seasoned professionals who have made their mark in the industry. Gain invaluable insights as they share their personal journeys, offering advice on navigating the dynamic landscape of the entertainment industry. Whether you're an aspiring actor, musician, filmmaker, author, animator, or any creative soul, tune in for expert career guidance, insider tips, and first-hand accounts on breaking into the entertainment industry. Get ready to unlock the secrets behind successful careers and fuel your own passion for the limelight. Please remember to like this video and to subscribe to our channels for more great conversations.
Greetings from Breaking the Biz, brought to you by Yes I Can Unity through Music and Education. I'm William Felber, your navigator through the intriguing universe of the entertainment industry, as revealed by the visionaries and creators who bring it to life. Stay tuned as we delve into diverse insights from the forefront of entertainment, hearing from pioneers, creators, and agents of change. Prepare for a journey filled with tales of innovation, resilience, and the undying quest for artistic brilliance.
I want to welcome everybody to Breaking the Biz podcast with the Yes I Can crew. We have a great guest speaker with us tonight. We have Oksana Kolesnikova, an entrepreneur, musical artist, a franchisor. She was born in Russia. Is an internationally renowned pianist and composer, educator, innovative music and personal mentor to the franchise owner of Oksana Enrichment Programs. She's the CEO of three companies, Oksana Management Group, Oksana Enrichment Programs, and the Oksana Foundation. In 2019, she launched franchising opportunities for her tutoring and artist-focused businesses, which have already been successfully operating with a large roster of tutors and was established in numerous schools. Born from her love of music performances, composing, and teaching music and languages to students, she sought to provide a quality-based resource for student enrichment beyond what her high-demand one-on-one lessons would allow. She is absolutely a remarkable example of the American dream. Beautiful face for her brand, collaboration of diligence, drive, global outreach, entrepreneurial spirit, and sheer talent. Like I mentioned, she's an international artist. She has her own CDs, Best of Two Worlds. She's kind of done it all, and we are blessed and very excited to have you here. I want to talk about when you were a young girl, what was the dream job for you, Oksana? When I grow up, I want to be.
Yes. When I was young, music was definitely very attractive to me. And I did get enrolled early on. I was about 5 or 6 years old. I got enrolled in a local music school and I studied it diligently and I really enjoyed it. And this is what I wanted to be. I have two passions. I come from I'm a second generation educators. So my family are educators. So, teaching runs in my blood. So this is what, as a child, I was entertaining, thinking of what to do when I was young. And teaching and music was the areas that I was attracted to.
What's amazing is you're one of the guest speakers that we've had that right as a young girl knew that she wanted to blend music and education, and those were the two passions, and you have been able to come full circle and be successful. So when we talk about the American dream, I think that is to find something that you love, something that you're passionate about, and turn that into your career, and you have been able to do that. So I think you are a model guest speaker for us tonight. Let's talk about how you got there, because it's never an easy road. Talk me through what was education like for you?
Yes, so I moved to United States when I was about 15, 16 years old. And it was really challenging because I did not speak English well. And I was put right away into like the public school system. So I had to catch up a lot with regular normal students. So the demand on my pressure on me was really high. And at that point I was music was almost like an escape for me. So every time I would go and practice piano, it's like I could get away from all the stress and pressure. And during my teenage years, that was something that was like my friend, my getaway, my escape. It was music. And to be honest, I never thought I would have an opportunity or even a dream to pursue higher education post high school in music. It is something, like my parents couldn't really guide me much because they were also foreigners and they work in a lot of jobs to support me and my siblings. So, but during high school, I was enrolled in accompanying choir. And choir director saw my, abilities and love for music. And when, time came to getting close to graduation, he said, like, what your plans are. And I said, I don't know. I'll just try to find like whatever job I can get, post high school. And he said, but you have so much talent for music. Like, why don't you enroll in a local community college? Go audition, you should consider going into like getting a music degree. So, and I listened to him. He was kind of my guidance in United States, in the local community, someone I could trust. So I did audition at the local community college, and this is St. Petersburg College in Tampa Bay area. And I was accepted into music program based on my audition. So I was like so thrilled. It's like, wow, my dream came true. Like I could never dream about this. That happened. That was so amazing. And I started my process. First 2 years I was studying music, and then there was another opportunity to take it further, my music career. And another opportunity came when I saw there was a competition for piano students to win a scholarship to go to any music school, like at any university of my choice. So I thought, wow, like this is like my ticket. Okay. So I saw that opportunity and I said, okay, I'm gonna do this and give it my all. And I have to tell you, like, I was practicing like crazy. I would like spend 8 to 10 hours a day preparing for that competition. And my family decided to take their first vacation because they were working so hard and take whole family on vacation. And I said, I'm sorry, I cannot go. Like, this is my chance. Like, if I make it happen, it will change the course of my life. So I did put a lot of time and effort. And then I won that competition. So through blood, sweat, and tears, I did. And I was able to, my choice was music school at the Florida State University, which is, where I lived in Florida, and from all university that had the best music program. And I decided to use my scholarship to go there. And that's where I got my full, degree from Florida State University.
Let's take some steps back because I love your commitment to when you say, hey, this could be my golden ticket. There's some people who just don't work hard enough for an opportunity like that. And you really saw that you needed to sacrifice, you needed to put in the time. The fact that you're putting 8 hours of your day aside to practice the piano to get ready for that audition shows you how serious you were about being victorious and winning that competition. So I love that. And I want everyone to understand, in order to be successful, you do need to make sacrifices. You do need to put in the time into your craft and into your art. Nothing just comes easy. I have seen you play the piano and my mouth just dropped, right? Like, you have definitely put in those 10,000 of hours into your craft. And that's amazing to see that you were able to cash in on that ticket. And the other part I just wanted to highlight is that there are sometimes people in our lives that can act as mentors. They can change the course of our life just if you listen to the advice that sometimes people are trying to share with you. Sometimes we're always locked in our own heads and we don't understand that people are really trying to do what's in our best interests. And in your case, that's exactly what that professor was doing for you, was saying, look, you have this talent. Don't let it go to waste. Don't search for just whatever job. Do something that you're passionate about and something that you have talent for, and continue to work on that skill. So absolutely beautiful. So now you're at Florida, you get your degree. What's the biggest lesson you learned from going to college in this music school in Florida?
It was amazing experience. And I have to tell you that like every night I was like praying, thanking God, like I couldn't believe like that I had this opportunity to get higher education in great United States. It's something that like I thought it was like so big, like so impossible to accomplish. And I just had a wonderful time, going seeing other students' concerts and seeing there's so many like talented students from all over the world that were studying simultaneously, and amazing professors. My professor was Lipovetsky. He graduated from Juilliard. So talk about taking my whole skill to the whole next level. That definitely made a huge difference.
Okay, so let's talk about after you graduate. People always go, oh, you're going to be an artist, you're going to be, a painter, musician, you're going to struggle in life. Talk me through. You've already have the strong growth mindset. You've already moved here. You've got your golden ticket. You put in your time. You're studying with the best of the best. What's the first job coming out of college?
So when I graduated from college, performance aspect of music is what I enjoyed the most. I really enjoy playing at the recitals and at the concerts and seeing people's emotions, even tears, like I love like evoking that kind of, impact through music for the audience. So when I graduated, before I graduated, I met my husband of 25 years, Alex, you know him. And he has experience in networking, marketing, and organizing concerts. So he would organize local concerts and, outside of the Florida, some television appearances such as PBS for me to get my music out there. But the most impactful was landing tours, international tours through Navy, U.S. Navy program. So U.S. Navy has program called MWR, stands for Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. And they send artists all over the world to all the Navy stations stationed overseas. So we had, for several years, we had a very packed schedule. Like we would go to Singapore and Japan and Greece, and we would even fly on military planes. So it was like such an incredible experience coming like fresh out of, college and to experience real world and, doing so much good through music. So that was very special.
Hey, I want to point out, making sure you get a husband who has a little marketing, a little experience in festival production and putting together shows really does come in handy. But that absolutely, and you mentioned something else that's really beautiful is the fact that the music can evoke emotion, and you mentioned seeing people cry and getting lost. You do classical music on the piano, and sometimes when it comes to music, we can get lost in the lyrics, we can get lost in the music. I think it really speaks when people can just absolutely just get lost in one just the music alone. So evoking emotion and people being able to connect to music is a beautiful thing. But taking it another step further, being able to build morale for Navy officers around the world is a great thing, and to be well traveled and get those experiences like you mentioned, flying on the aircraft and so forth. Amazing stuff. So you guys had a very, very busy schedule coordinating all those dates. When you finish that, what comes next for you in your career?
So in 2006, we kind of felt like we outgrew the local area and we need to move somewhere where it's like the peak of arts and entertainment. So Los Angeles, we've done a few tours to LA before moving and really fell in love with weather and people, and it's just like beauty everywhere you go in California. So we decided to go ahead and move here in 2006. Now, when we moved, we didn't know anyone. So we had to kind of start from scratch. And of course, this town, the city is known for a lot of talent. It's hard to make it in a place where like there's so many talented people from all over the world. So we would roll our sleeves and look for opportunities. We would like go and see, lounge pianists, performing, in different locations, and we would reach out to general managers, send email or do a visit. And through this outreach program, not just sitting and waiting for something to come to you, you have to go out there and be productive. So through this outreach, one of the general manager told us that they use this agent, music agent in Beverly Hills, that they book their pianists or performers through this agent. And he gave us his information. So we didn't take too long to reach out to the agent and scheduled an audition. First, it was hard to get his response because so busy, so many talented people he sees. But persistence is the key. And then we met. I got to audition. I got to play, and soon after, there was an opportunity that came up. One of the pianists left the position at the legendary Polo Lounge in Beverly Hills Hotel. And there was this position open to play 5 days a week, lunch hours. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I can play like in the fanciest venue in Beverly Hills and seeing like it was like so incredible. So I ended up staying there for 7 years. And I have to tell you, it's the place where like celebrities constantly walk by the piano. They sit there and they have lunch meetings with their agents and managers. And I'm there playing and thinking, like when I was a kid growing up in Russia, like I only used to see those people on TV, never in my wildest dream. Like I would see them live up close. Some of them would come and compliment or, talk to me. So it was like surreal. But yeah, that was another opportunity through outreach that really made a difference for being new in town and being able to land such a position for a pianist. It's a big deal.
I want to point out some stuff there because you mentioned you just can't wait for something to fall on your lap, right? And that's something I want to make it very clear. If you are passionate about something and you want something, you'll work hard enough to get it. The fact of both you and Alex moving to a brand new place, obviously Florida, you have your connections, you have all your people, your community, your tribe, and to move and just meet new people and not know anyone. We talk about growth mindset a lot in our program, and that's just when you just take opportunities. You're not afraid to fail in order to learn. And if you didn't take that leap of faith, who knows where you would be. But again, and you mentioned outreach. I want everyone on this call to understand it. You could call it outreach, you could call it, networking, but you have to put yourself out there and be seen and meet the people within your community and what you're passionate about. So obviously going to lounges and seeing other people play and supporting others, is a great thing. We talk about being on LinkedIn and celebrating other people's victories. It just brings victory your way. I think it's like a very good karma type of way. But what an opportunity to play at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And just as you mentioned, it's not an exaggeration when you do see the big superstars of music, of art, of all walks of life, of entertainment, really having those meetings right there. And what a great way to also be discovered. You always talk about, where can I play? Well, someone will see my talent and take me to the next level. Putting yourself in that position for 7 years is phenomenal. The other part I just wanted to highlight is, when you are ready and you are serious, whatever it is, if it's music, if it's entertainment, animation, at some point you get to that level where you do need an agent. You obviously have an amazing husband that has your best interest, who can act and act as the manager, but an agent is most definitely the person who can help you find gigs. And obviously landing the Beverly Hills Hotel was amazing. So I can imagine, just like you mentioned in Russia, hearing what Beverly Hills is and envisioning it and then actually making it come to fruition is beautiful. So after playing there for 7 years, what comes next for you?
So as I was playing there, I gradually started to build my piano studio. So like, patrons would sometimes come with their children and they would watch me play. It's like, oh my goodness, our kids would love to learn piano. And so I would exchange information and I would take piano student here, piano student there. And so in 2009, I became a mom. So I was ready to kind of, shift my gears, and I was ready to just, shift, just doing my own piano studio, running out of my own home. So I could be there for my kid. I have students, so I didn't have to drive all over. I didn't only play at the Beverly Hills. I would also, do evening gigs here and there. So I would always was out. But like I wanted to be close to my child, and therefore I decided that would be my perfect next chapter. So by that time, I left Polo Lounge in 2013. I had a full thriving studio by then of piano students. So that I kind of, prepped. I built gradually to get to that point. It would be hard to just, cancel a job and like start from scratch. But if you think a few steps ahead, you have that soft landing, right? Transitioning from one to another thing. And that's how I started to focus more on teaching music. Yeah.
Okay. So you're teaching, you've got students, you've definitely figured out, okay, I got to balance my time. I'm a mom now. It's not just about grind, perform, and you're able to take on students. When does the franchising happen? What's the next step in the career?
So that's not years later. So as I started my teaching at my piano studio was the main thing. I would have same client request other services. Like, for example, they bring Johnny, and Johnny has a cute little Emma sister, and she wanted to learn a guitar. So the parents would ask me, because they knew that I'm very engaged in music community, like, do you know any guitar teachers, or can you refer this or that? And then first I was referring a lot of teachers, but then I thought, well, why don't I try to build my business to the next level? So I opened my first corporation in 2010, but it took a while to get to the point just being piano instructor to now all of a sudden having several instructors within your team who works together with you and with our clients. So it took several years. Okay, so it's not something that happened overnight. I have to tell you, I graduated from university like 25 years ago. So like all this time, it's been a very, very long journey. So it kind of, evolved one thing to another. You would try one thing, see if it works. You try another thing, see if it doesn't work. So eventually I was able to build a school of music where I would offer programs to our clients for piano, guitar, singing, violin, drums. So, and we launched this in Beverly Hills. So it was very, very successful. We had a lot of same families who would sign up for different programs. And then we fast forward another years further. I decided, well, my son was like kindergarten age. So I started to enroll him for all this enrichment programs. So I would take him to karate, and I would take him to other programs, and I see how group classes would operate. And City of Beverly Hills has this community youth programs. So I thought, why wouldn't I try, instead of servicing one student at a time, which is great, of course, but like offer the same program for a larger number of students. And I remember booking an interview with the City of Beverly Hills to pitch my programs. Back then it was music generated, and they decided to give it a try. So we piloted in one of the schools. I believe it was Horseman School, and it worked out really well. And I said, okay, well, next year we're going to bring you to all other 4 schools through the, Beverly Hills Unified School District. And that's how my company grew all of a sudden, from just individual private clients to offering programs through schools, through communities, through, like private schools, charter schools, public schools. Yeah, and we are right now at this point where we primarily work with school districts, where school district can have 10, 15 schools under its reach. So, and we have currently about 20 programs that we offer. Like every year we would pilot. We would say, okay, like music is successful, but what if we try chess? And we would hire experts that know chess. And if it piloted well, we would incorporate it as part of our offerings.
I
Yeah.
think what you do is absolutely fantastic. Not only is it the American dream, but when I introduced you, we talked about being an entrepreneur, and you and Alex both have that entrepreneurial mindset. And again, coming back to that growth mindset, how you mentioned, let's pilot something, let's see if it works. If it catches on, then we'll go with it. And each time you try something new and just continue to add to the program. I also think it speaks obviously to the entrepreneurial mindset to go, okay, I'm networking out individuals and friends. And I think that obviously is an example of when you network and you have people within your community, you can share opportunities. Like obviously you're not trying to teach a guitar class, but you know someone who does teach guitar. But that entrepreneurial mindset is how can I incorporate all of them under my umbrella and share in these services and opportunities of drums, guitar, bass, like you mentioned, violin, and you focus in obviously then on the piano. Another thing is I feel like entrepreneurs solve problems. They see things that others don't see. And going in and watching a karate class, like to someone else, it's just kids, doing their stuff and kicking, punching. But in your mind, you see it as, I'm only serving one student and benefiting, but what if I did it in a group setting? I could use my skills to work with many others. So again, that comes back to a strong growth mindset, but it also comes back to critical thinking, problem solving, being able to collaborate, being resilient, and right on top, the cherry on top is obviously that entrepreneurial mindset. So at this point, you've got programs, you've got instructors, you're not afraid to try chess, you're not afraid to try teaching foreign languages. Obviously, you're building your brand and people are trusting you. When indeed you work hard, you have repeat customers, in your case, repeat families. So you've now got that going on. How do you find time to balance family, all your schools, the program, but then also be able to still focus in on you as a recording artist? Because I know there's recording albums that somewhere fits in this trajectory that you're on.
Yes, that's a very good question. So as you get older, you start learning, how to navigate and works what doesn't work. When you're in the beginning of building your own company, you basically, it's just like impossible. You have that focus and you have to like keep pushing and pushing. And so I guess my key point was when I learned how to delegate. Delegating was hard for me. I remember my first few group classes that I went to teach myself at the schools. And I thought, like, there's no way I can trust someone to go and teach a group class. It's just like, so complex and like there's so much responsibility. And to my shock and to my surprise, I learned that there is many qualified candidates that can do that job even better than I can. So, through delegation, I was able to figure out how to structure my time efficiently. So I'm obsessed with schedule. Like every hour is written out what I need to do. Okay, and I'm so deep into this that I don't even know how to live without schedule anymore. So for me to to do something, like I have to put in a schedule, like if I need to exercise, like, and it's important to me, like I have to put it in a schedule, okay, because it's not gonna come later. It, like life gets in the way, there's too many things. If I need I feel like my family needs more of me, I have to put it in a schedule and stick to this. So that is the solution I currently found to work. But it's like just never ending, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. My to-do list is never ending. But at the end of the day, I love what I'm doing. So I would never complain. I love, love, love what I'm doing. I found my purpose, my mission, and I'm just like, I want to do more of it.
I love it. And a great example of obviously making strong, smart goals. You have to have everything organized, be able to have schedules. And I like how you mentioned even exercising, like it has to be on that schedule or it's not going to get done. And it's true, life does get in the way. So you have recorded some albums. Do you have that planned in the future as well? Are you going to record? What's the plans? What's coming next for you?
So at this stage in my life, I've done so much music-wise. I've specialized classical music when I was going to school. When I got out of school and was touring with, MWR and Polo Lounge performances and other, gigs, I had to expand my horizon and learn popular music and what people request. So I always stretched my, outside of what I felt was comfortable for me or what I preferred. But at this point in my life, I feel that I should be the voice, of my own music. And writing and composing right now is my primary musical goal. So whatever time I have on my art, I specifically just write my own music, and I'm trying to be the voice of that.
Okay. I absolutely love that. What advice would you give for our listeners who want to follow in your footsteps? They want to be musicians. What advice would you give to someone who wants to make music their career?
Yes, well, there is a lot of advices I could give, but I guess it all boils down to like believe in yourself. Just put yourself out there because, nobody hears your music if you're just like a practice room musician only, right? So in fact, most of the opportunities I got came from the outside world, it was outside resources that, really made a difference in my life. Yeah. And, I love inspiring new generation of musicians. So if teaching is in your blood, like doing that as side thing is definitely like rewarding because you see you passing that art form to a new generation and it's continuing.
Love it. With mentor, obviously you shared early on in our discussion that you had a mentor that saw your potential very early on and said, don't let that go to waste and go study and pursue music. Throughout our life, I feel as though we find mentors in different places, different times. Are there other mentors that come to mind that have been a positive aspect of your success?
Yes, mentors, but sometimes it's just like life. In itself, like every situation you encounter, it sometimes not always have to be positive, even negative situations, they teach us, how to, okay, like this happened and it's not pleasant. I don't like it. Like, what can I do to either not make it happen again? Or how can I turn this into an advantage, So if you look at it that way, it's a valuable lesson.
Yeah. Again, it speaks on your growth mindset. There is definitely a correlation from people who are successful, people who want to hire people who have a strong growth mindset, and you are that individual. Just even your answer there, not only the positive advice and the positive things that you've learned from, but the fact of learning from the negative things as well, because everything truly is a lesson. And as long as you learn from that lesson, everything else can go out the window. So I love that. Is there a mantra that you find yourself saying that keeps you positive daily?
Well, I like one that goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Because, life of entrepreneur is not always like, peaches and roses, that you have to hustle, you have to take risks. Sometimes you have sleepless nights, worrying about, the decision you made, is it right? Or, it's not right. So, but at the end of the day, that resilience, that perseverance is what, makes us evolve. Yeah.
Solid answer. I absolutely love that. I have one last question, and then I'm going to open it up to questions from our listeners. What's the biggest piece of advice you would give to your younger self with all that you have learned over this 25-year career in music?
Well, one, I have to be, I have to say, like, believe in yourself. Because I have to tell you, I grew up in challenging environments where it's like, it was challenging. Okay. So, it was hard to overcome, like, self, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, self-doubt. Okay. So, but at the end, like, you cannot know it all. You have to go and you have to try, and you have to, sometimes you fail, you get up, you get better at it. Sometimes failures even makes us better, and just believing in yourself is the most important thing.
I think that's absolutely beautiful. And obviously, no one is going to believe in you if you do not believe in yourself, right? No one is going to invest in you unless you are willing to invest that time. And obviously, you were willing to invest that time into your craft and into your company and just growing. So I think that's beautiful. One last thing I just want to highlight is when you are an entrepreneur, because obviously that you have that mindset, you are risking it all with your own finances. It's not like you go to a company and let's just use like a Tesla, and you put out a certain version of the car and it doesn't work and you go, oh, sorry, Elon, you lost that money. When you are an entrepreneur, you are investing your own time, you are investing your own money. And like you said, you do have to fail to learn to make the right steps and the right moves. So that honesty to the answer, I don't want to mislead anyone down a road. And, you mentioned it several times. This is a career, and making moves and changing around each corner to continue to better yourself, to better your company, and to share your gift with many more people. So absolutely love that. Again, people, entrepreneurial mindset is solving problems that most people don't even see are out there. And if you can capitalize on that, you will be successful. Oksana, I want to thank you again for your time. I know you have got a busy schedule. I know you have a to-do list, and I know that there is a lesson that is going to be taught as soon as we are done tonight. I want to wish you continued success, good health. I love that you are enriching the youth and sharing your talents and your passions. And there is some definite correlation with bigger brains and being able to use the music and apply that to math and into writing and just opening up that brain in different ways. I just think what you're doing is beautiful. Continued success, like I mentioned. And if we don't speak to you beforehand, Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. It was such a special hour to spend with all of you and share my story.
Thank you for joining us on Breaking the Biz podcast. Have a great evening, everyone.
As we conclude another enriching episode, we hope you've found inspiration in the stories shared today. Let's take a moment to honor Yes I Can's role in bringing Breaking the Biz to life. Yes I Can's commitment to empowering young people with disabilities through education, advocacy, and mentorship shines brightly, paving paths of opportunity and dialogue. This podcast celebrates the organization's dedication to nurturing talent and facilitating impactful discussions. Breaking the Biz is more than a podcast. It's a part of Yes I Can's broader mission to amplify voices, dismantle barriers, and craft a world that's more inclusive and accessible for everyone. Each episode is a chapter in our shared narrative of progress, education, and empowerment, driven by the spirit of Yes I Can. Thank you for spending your time with us on Breaking the Biz. Continue to challenge the status quo and share stories that resonate. Until our paths cross again, let's keep transforming aspirations into achievements and infuse every endeavor with optimism. Here's to advancing the landscape of the entertainment industry, one episode at a time. I'm your host, William Felber. See you next time.